Good morning, happy Monday, or as I'm now calling it, my day, because mon in French is my. I'm just going out to the garden to take photos because Mum's asked me to take before and after pictures before the gardeners come, as you do. So this is it before. They're apparently going to repaint all of the decking. My mornings always start off so well, and then I end up running about like the proverbial headless chicken. But I'm pleased because I managed to get all my vintage parcels sent off now. The gardeners eventually arrived at 10:30, 2 hours later than they were meant to be, so just as well I didn't get up.
It's your friend Mel.
Yeah, so I was like ordering stock, didn't get all of that done. Then there was a couple of orders that I wanted to get out like this morning, and so I was trying to do them. We're running out of boxes, and then when I went on the box company website, they are closed today. Apparently it's a bank holiday. I don't know that. May Day bank holiday, I guess. So yeah, and then like trying to, because we've now got to do the post in a specific fashion, I take my hat off to my mum. Like, she makes it look so like easy and efficient. So I've now got to, like, I can't just put them in any like post box or anything like that. I'm now on the way to the actual depot, and I need to go in and hand them to someone and give them the manifest sheet as well. And then I'm just going to grab coffees from Costa this time for Kim and I, who phoned me at 10 minutes past 12, as she always does. And I'm saying to her, right, you're going to be there before me. I've got errands to run, so you'll just need to wait on me. And I know for a fact that she's likely to phone me again, because I was saying to her, I'll be there at 1 o'clock. But last week, when she was there before me and she was obviously waiting, she phoned me as I was pulling into the business park, obviously wondering where I was. Yeah, I had to, I asked ChatGBT to come up with an EFT tapping round for me in relation to, like, this is the good thing about it having memory and kind of remembering what I've asked it before. So I said to it, like, with everything that you know about me in relation to money and whatever, can you please create me a quick EFT tapping round that I can do when I start to feel anxious about spending money? Because I found myself, I still even feel a wee bit like anxious now. When I was ordering the stock, and like I'm ordering like hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of stuff at a time, and I could feel myself that, like, those limiting beliefs kind of coming up and being panicking about. There's a couple walking in their fear, they're swinging their arms, God love them. Yeah, I could feel these like limiting beliefs coming up about like spending money and how I'm worried that I'm going to run out of money. And obviously if I don't spend the money, then I don't have the stock to make the products, and then I don't have the products to sell, so that's not really. But I did notice, because I did 2 rounds of EFT, I did like a kind of generalised one first thing in the morning, and usually I'm constantly yawning when I'm doing that, because it's obviously the energy that's been moved and stuff. I don't think I yawned once actually. I gulped a couple of times. Excuse me, watch where you're going. You nearly come out into me because she's on her phone. And then I asked it to do the, like, I did my specific money one. I keep reminding myself that I'm 37, and as such I have 37 years worth of ingrained limiting beliefs that I need to work through, and they're not gonna disappear like in the space of one EFT tapping session. No. As it turns out, I don't need to. That wee man took them for me. Right, onwards. Do you know what I've forgotten? My purse.
Respected scientist in the entire world. His work in genomics, longevity, cardio.
I wonder if there's somewhere in Shooting that I can get cash back just with my phone. So, as it turns out, I've got a very quiet day PT wise, aka I just had Kim, because Laura's not feeling well, so she cancelled. But I've just been asking ChatGPT's, I know there's a lot of controversy about it, because I didn't realise that the size of the computers that they use for AI apparently use a lot of energy. So I do feel slightly guilty about using it, but then at the same time, I absolutely love it now. And ChatGBT is like, because it's learning every time I ask it a question, it kind of knows me now. Anyway, I have got a situation. So I noticed this morning that someone I used to be involved with, who is without a doubt a narcissist. I know we band about these terms and we call people that, and they are not actually, but this person just is. And I noticed this morning that they had started following me again on Instagram, and this is what I don't really understand about myself. I often feel like someone else, like anyone else, would have blocked that person, but I didn't. I haven't followed them back or anything, but I've been finding myself, so I noticed that they'd been watching all my stories from like yesterday, obviously ever since they started following me. And I've been finding myself today, when I've been uploading the stories, I've been finding myself constantly checking my stories to see if they've been watching them. And I don't know what it is that I'm looking for. Like, I don't know why I'm doing that. Like, what am I trying to get out of the situation? Because there is no way that I could ever be involved with that person. So basically I asked ChatGPT, like, why am I doing that? And I literally said that, like, why am I doing this? Why am I constantly checking? Like, I explained this situation and I said, why am I constantly checking? Why am I constantly checking my Instagram? And it said, what you're describing is actually really common. When something like that reappears, especially through something passive like following you on Instagram, it can stir up all sorts of feelings. Curiosity, hope, validation, confusion, or even unresolved emotions. Watching to see if they viewed your stories can be a way of seeking connection or reassurance, even subconsciously. It's like a quiet way of asking, do I still matter to them? There's also a dopamine loop at play. Every time you check and see their name, it gives a little emotional hit, like a reward. That can make it feel a bit addictive, even if you don't necessarily want to be re-entangled. And then it asked me, like, do you think you'd want contact with them again, or is it more about needing closure or validation? And I just said I have all sorts of mixed feelings. We didn't end on good terms, and they'd blocked me, which is why I'm confused as to why they're following me again. And then it was talking about different things, just about, and it was asking me, like, do you think them following you is reopening a wound, or is it helping you process something you didn't get to fully before? And I said reopening a wound. And it was like, your brain might be checking stories because it's trying to make sense of what this means, looking for signs, for patterns, for some kind of clarity. That's your nervous system's way of trying to regain control in a situation that once felt out of your hands. And that's the thing, like, it felt so, the whole situation, like the whole, and I guess that's the thing with narcissists, like, they make you completely doubt yourself. And that's what I'm not understanding about my brain. Like, they caused me so much pain and made me doubt myself so much. So why did I not just block them immediately? Like, I don't get me. And then it said, it's okay to feel triggered. It doesn't mean you're not over him. It means you're human and that healing isn't linear, especially when someone pokes at an old scar without permission. And I just basically said I feel torn, which I know is ridiculous. He's a narcissist and he broke my heart, so why can't I have the courage to block him immediately? What's wrong with me? And it said there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Feeling torn doesn't mean you're weak or foolish. It means you're human and you care deeply, even if that love wasn't returned in a healthy way. When someone like a narcissist breaks your heart, they often leave behind a mix of emotional confusion, self-doubt, and a craving for the closure or validation. Oh, recording. It is the next day, Tuesday, and I realised that I left the end of yesterday's vlog in a bit of a unintended cliffhanger because my battery ran out. And then when I got home, it was just kind of full on because I was trying to do everything and anything. I say that actually, I went and I sat out in the garden for like, it was about 45 minutes and read some of my book and did the Healy machine that I've got now. It's to do with frequencies and stuff. And then, yeah, I was like making product, and because Mum's away this week, I was packing orders, and because I'm not used to doing it, it takes me a lot longer. But anyway, what had I been saying? Oh, I was reading out what ChatGBT had been telling me about the whole situation of the person following me on Instagram, and I was finding myself constantly checking, and I can't get my head around why I'm doing that. And one of the things that I'm pretty sure I need to go back through and read it again, but I'm pretty sure one of the things that ChatGPT said was that a lot of the time it's like you want acknowledgement of the pain and the hurt that person has caused you. And in some ways, because they are now following me on Instagram, it's like my subconscious thinks that might happen when I know that it's not going to happen. Like, because I'll give you an example. So it all ended very abruptly, very whatever, and in typical narcissist fashion, I can't remember. It was we're literally talking like a couple of years later. Said person tried to befriend me on Facebook, but I declined that. And I bumped into them in the supermarket sorry, that's my top problem. On several occasions actually, and those times there was no acknowledgement of any wrongdoing. There was no awkwardness on their part. It was very awkward for me, but there was no apology, no addressing of the situation. It was like, well, we're just discussing the weather. It was the most bizarre situation ever. And then, yeah, like, so it's just the weirdest situation ever. And I keep thinking to myself, right, if I could decline his Facebook friend invitation, what is stopping me from like removing him as a follower on my Instagram or blocking him or whatever? I don't know. But anywho, it is my friend Jen's wedding today actually. She's getting married in Glasgow, and then me and my friend Sam have been invited to the kind of reception party thing that they're having at Sloan's in Glasgow. So they've got a really lovely day for it. And I'm very excited because Jen says that she's organised vegan macaroni and cheese for me, which is just the dream. But I'm actually feeling like really, really, really run down. This issue, I'm presuming it's my sinuses because it's now all in like my gums. My gums feel so sore. When I woke up during the night, like I had a sore throat. In an ideal world, I would have a few days of doing nothing, but so talking about their wedding, I'm actually on my way to get dollars for them because Jen's got family out in Boston, and I think she said they're going over there like either June or July. So I'm just going to give them that as a present. And then I have got a call with someone. Sorry, I'm like really distracted this morning, like extra distracted. I haven't had coffee yet. I'm also gonna get that. Yeah, I've got a call with Ian McDonald, who's like one of the like consultants that I got through Business Gateway. That was at 12 o'clock. He had to move it. It was meant to be Monday morning. It was meant to be like sometime last week, I think. Then it got moved to Monday. Then he's in France at the minute apparently, and he's got internet issues, so it's now moved to today. And I want to try and factor in a nap at some point. Right, I'm going now because I'm sure that you're all fed up of me moaning. I'm fed up of hearing myself moaning. I was thinking that on the way here actually, like, I literally have such first world problems, literally.
It will be different from your numbers to an extent, but what we've got here is, I looked at the number of transactions that you sent. I just wanted to get a feel for discounts and returns, your average vol.
So, in a turn of events in which I kind of knew was going to happen, don't ask me how, it's why you should listen to your intuition, I am going to the wedding reception myself, which I'm not going to lie has given me some anxiety, but I'm telling myself that I don't need to stay. If things get too overwhelming, then I can just go. So the original plan was to get the train up, but I'm just going to drive myself up. I've discovered that there's like a car park like a couple of minutes round the road, so I'll just drive, and then, as I say, if I want to leave then I can just go whenever. I've just been sat, I was out there getting a can out of my car, and I thought the guys that were doing the garden were away, but one of the wee guys was sitting in the van in the driveway, so I gave him one of my cans, and he was so delighted. And I've just been doing the quote I had been doing for Nick, for the holiday quote. I was just making some updates on that. So now I just need to fulfil the orders that I dropped off this morning and then get ready, because I can't go looking like this. And I need to feed this monster. Okay, I'm ready. What do we think? This is actually Mum's dress. It's like a mini with a bat over the top. And I've got this chunky necklace which I like. Really like shoulder pads. Am I an absolute nervous wreck? Yes. Am I running late? Yes. But let's go. Okay. Can I just say, Jen's and David's wedding reception
turn right onto Howard Street, then use any lane to turn left onto Jamaica Street.
Was lovely. The Jamaica Street car parking experience, which I'm currently exiting right now and making myself dizzy because it's the most never-ending pathway I've ever experienced in my life, has not been so smooth sailing. So it's good for security in the sense that like the doors are locked, so like nobody can loiter about, right? But I get to the doors expecting them to open. This is when I'm coming back. Nothing. And it's like, scan the card that you use to pay, or scan your card. I'm scanning and scanning. Nothing's happening. And it's like, you phone the number and it's like, our customer service is closed. Press the intercom. Press the intercom. Nothing. Pressed it 3 times. I was literally starting to panic. I was like, my truck is in here and I am out here. Like, how am I going to get in? I was literally thinking, am I going to have to like phone the police here? Like, seriously? And then eventually I got through to someone, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to go through this whole palaver of like reading out my number or whatever. And then he's like, oh, is the door open now? And I was like, yes it is. Gets in. I'm so relieved. I was like, oh, I found my truck. Oh, thank God. And then as I'm going to exit, I just thought it's fine, like, because it's one of those ones you pay on the way out. And I thought, oh, that's great, like I'll
use any lane to turn left onto Jamaica Street.
Amber Gambler.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Nelson Street, A8.
And I thought it's like, you just pay on the way out. So I inserts the parking ticket thing, and then it's got a contactless payment thing, so I tap it, and it was like, insert payment card, and I was starting to panic because all I could think was, all I've got, and usually all I where are you going, bus? Usually all I take about with me is my phone. Like, I use contactless for nearly everything basically, but luckily I remembered that I had my purse in the truck from, where did I have it earlier on? Oh, when I was going to buy the Jen's dollars. So I got out, and I tell you, I will not be parking there again. That's my story ended. Now I'm on the way home, thank God. But yeah, it's now 10 o'clock, and I'm quite proud of myself, as sad as that is to say, but I stayed a lot longer than I thought I would, because I find it quite, as you might have established,
Turn right onto Nelson Street, A8.
Yeah, like, I was really anxious about going because I don't know anyone there really, apart from, well, Jane. But it was quite nice because when I got in, Jane's sister-in-law, Steph, was there, and she come up and said, "Oh, come and like sit with us." So for the first kind of like half of the night, that was fine, and then Jenny ended up saying, "Oh, come over and sit." Like, she was sitting with some of the girls that she
Turn
works
left
with.
onto Patterson Street, then turn right
So
onto Wallace Street.
I was sitting with them, and I was up dancing. I feel like I've had more
Turn right
cardio
onto
than...
Wallace Street, then use the right lane to turn left onto Dallantober Street.
I feel like I've done more cardio than I have in a long time. Oh, but I don't ask me how, but I ended up somehow involved in Jen and David's first dance. Well, they weren't strictly having like a traditional first dance, but they kind of pulled people up to dance with them, and then I was like one of the folk that was up there. So, anywho, I literally can't wait to get in. I'm such an old lady, and do you know what? I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. The best part of a night out is getting home, getting your makeup off, having a cup of tea. The person behind me was also confused.
M77 Slip Road.
When I tell you that my period, or more specifically, stomach cramps, are whooping my ass, I'm being serious. And I don't like... I count myself lucky that I've got...
Fear being seen. Why? Procrastination.
You know, like, really normal, healthy, regular periods. But this month, I think I was about 3 days. My cycle was 3 days longer than it usually is. And because I think today or yesterday was technically day 33, and usually mine's day 29. Sorry if this is TMI, or you're a boy, or you're not interested, but I feel like periods are something that we need to talk about more. And like, I've had the symptoms for a few days, the good old PMS and feeling tired and whatnot, but I haven't experienced like, so not really had cramps. Like, I didn't have any cramps yesterday, and then today, and you always know your own body, like I just knew that my period had came, and then from this morning it's literally been like I've been like doubled over at some points, and I was meant to be, I'm on my way to the gym right now, because if I mentioned it's Wednesday. Normally I would train on a Wednesday, and I've got Maureen in for PT, and I had intended to train after her. And you know, like, training or exercise is actually normally helps with period symptoms like stomach cramps, but I can't even face, like, I just want to get home after. I just, no. Men don't know how lucky they've got it. But today has been a bit of a random one. So I didn't set an alarm this morning, because I ended up, after I'd got home, and then I had my space dust, whatever it's called, the magnesium hot chocolate, and I just kind of chilled. I've started reading, I can't remember if I've told you, but on my Kindle I've got Manacle, which is, it's kind of taken over like the magic community, because it's not old now, but it came out quite a while ago, but I'm just getting around to reading it now. Basically it's a fan fiction about Hermione and Draco Malfoy and what might have happened had Voldemort won the war. So basically Harry's dead, like all the Order of the Phoenix are dead, and it's giving, even down to the outfits actually, it's giving The Handmaid's Tale vibes. It's very, very, very dark, but I'm finding it, I'm only like, I think I'm about 14% through now, but I'm just loving like the alternative, not perspective, but like what might have happened. Why was I telling you that? Oh, I'd been like reading one of my books last night, and then I didn't get to sleep till probably about midnight. So I woke up this morning back at 8, and then by the time I've like pottered about and whatnot. What did I actually do this morning? I don't know. I do know that like I walked to Espresso Car at one point to get my coffee. I've made a batch of cleansing balm. That's actually concerning me that I can't remember what I've done. I had my call with Ailey at 4 o'clock. Oh, I cancelled my phone insurance. There you are. That's one for the daily wins. And I was looking into holiday stuff again for Nick. I'm sad that I don't have a best friend. I don't have someone that like considers me as part of their family. Like when I think of like Joe, so Joe's best friend, like best friend, is a girl called Lisa. And even when like I watched a video of like when they were scattering her ashes, like Lisa went up to Harris with the family to be there to scatter her ashes, and she also got to keep some of Joe's ashes to make into her jewellery. And then I start thinking about things like when I think about like my other friends and stuff, like it's always me that like reaches out to people or arranges stuff. And then I start thinking, is it me? Am I not a good friend, or am I not a good person? Because people must not want to spend time with me. And I've found myself like my kind of immediate reaction, or like when I find myself triggered, as I go into like self-preservation mode, and I get very like, it's like a shut down, and like I suppose that other people like I'll come across as quite like frosty and even potentially not very nice. Don't mind me just sitting in my hallway floor of a Thursday morning. Classic side quest, totally unrelated to anything that I was doing. I was literally putting the jugs and stuff that I'd washed up last night. I was en route into the White Rabbit room, saw my purse sitting, and then all of a sudden felt inspired, quote unquote, to clean out my purse. So I meant to show you when it was all chaos, but then I just fell down a rabbit hole, literally. This was the mess. And then I put on, I meant to say someone, but I ended up saying Simone. I'm also now thinking that I really want to paint the hallway. That's definitely not going to happen today, but I just want, like, I used to have all the wee kind of Harry Potter bits, and I had like Harry Potter pictures on the wall, but they all fell down apart from one. And I think I've moved on from that stage of my life. And when I think about it, my ex actually bought me this sign, so I feel like it's like I need a refresh. So I also should not have been burning incense, because look at the mark on the ceiling. At some point I need to like fill in, like get like polyfiller or whatever you do, so that these are all, before we got the rough casting done on the outside, it was like damp. So it's like, hang on a minute. trying to point. See this horribleness here? It's like old damp stains. It's not damp anymore, but so I need to paint over that. I'm thinking I'm going to like look up the best colours to use in a hallway, because obviously I want it to be like spiritually aligned and good vibes, and I'll maybe get round to that sometime in the next 5 years. But talking of progress, the guys are making really good progress on the garden. So, oh god, I don't want to, in case he thinks I'm filming him out the window. We're waiting on the chips coming, and they've been painting the garage and the decking, and then the last job after the chips are down, because they're going to be putting, the delivery company are going to be putting the chips, the bags of the chips, on the driveway. So there's no point in them relaying the driveway until that's all done. But they're going to like relay the slabs, so it should look really nice actually. But right now I feel quite hungry actually. I think I might make something. Now I've done that random task of cleaning my purse out. Well, hello there. It is Saturday. Apparently it's 23 degrees outside, and can you believe it, it's already 4:30. So my day so far has basically consisted of so we had our closing ceremony thing for, what do you call it, the channel, and then I actually met my friend Sam for a coffee in Costa, which is where I've been for like the past however many hours, and then I spent a couple of hours doing some finance things. So I wanted to, you've got here in front of you, wonder whose that could be. I wanted to set aside some time to work on financial stuff that I should have had in place a while ago, like for example a spreadsheet that keeps track of daily sales for White Rabbit, and then so I can set aside a little amount every week for my VAT account. So that took me a wee while, yeah, but I was starting to get that kind of fidgety, wasn't concentrating, kept getting distracted way, so I thought I need to move. So I'm going to go to TK Maxx because the garden's really coming on now, and I want to see if I can get, my dad, when I first moved into the garden, had built this little, is that a cairn? A wee stone thing, and he's got this bloody, Dad loves it, and I think it's the most ugly thing ever. Brian the snail. It's like a garden ornament, but it's a snail. But it's so faded in the sun, and it just looks ridiculous. So I want to get like a nice like Buddha head, or no, not a Buddha. You know what I mean? Something nice and zenny. I did want to look for a, oh excuse me. I did want to look for a like a parasol or something, but I can't be bothered. I'll maybe look for that tomorrow. And then of course I need some bits from Tesco. Standard Saturday. Well, hello there. Sorry for being a non-existent vlogger today. I have done good old classic me and started off my day lovely and chilled. Like, I went outside, did my grounding and meditation outside actually, and read my book, and it was dreamy. And then of course I've proceeded to stack my to-do list with a million things, and now it's, what time are we at? 6:30, and I'm like peak anxiety. But as of this week, I really, like, Sundays are a no work zone, and provisionally evenings, because I can't take this anxiety-ness. So I went round to Espresso Cart and I sat for about an hour and a bit, and I booked Clongarth's flights to Mallorca for October, and I started going through like some White Rabbit emails just so that there were not as many for me to come back to during the week. I picked It's one of these things I've been putting off forever, and it literally took me like 2 minutes, so I don't know why. I picked the giveaway winner for the White Rabbit decadent box, and I am now about to book in all of this. Oh, I've got some down there as well. So, and this room is just a riot. And then I wonder why I've got anxiety. But I'm just going to close this one off now so that I remember to do it. So thank you for watching as always. I really appreciate your support and your love that I can feel through the camera. Oh god, that's cheesy. But I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.